I don't speak the language of my family. They all speak English, but it's still not the same. The family means a lot because I know they care so much and I care, but the country itself, somehow, it feels familiar, but I don't fit in. Like, I know that I'm Malaysian and I feel Malaysian when I'm in Belgium, but when I'm there, I know that I'm not Malaysian. Yeah, maybe it's a strange thought. When people get old and they get like dement, they start speaking the language when they were young. So I always think it's maybe difficult to communicate with my mother. Because when my mom wakes up at night, the first word she says is in Hokkien, and that's her mother tongue. Even though it's not worth so much in the world because not so many people speak it, I think it's still more personal maybe to be able to speak like the language that your mother dreams in with her. Yeah, I think I'm especially sad. It feels like I'm missing a part.
I am partly so much of an enigma to a lot of people. And it's like, oh, what are you? It's because they want to put me in a category and I don't easily fit. I guess my belonging is not so much an identity of a background, but more so knowing that people have had the same experiences as me. I always think of it in this way that when I'm old and my parents have died and my grandparents are long gone, am I still gonna have the same identity and like belongingness to them anymore? And I think my answer is not really. If you see identity just past yourself and past your moment, it always becomes this kind of weird, fluid thing.
I was conscious that I was biracial because I told everyone that I was half Korean and half white because I seemed to be very proud of it, but it wasn't something that I was conscious that it made me different from everyone. Like, my parents were never like, oh, this is your culture and blah, 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 blah. And so it never, but it's not like, oh, I feel like ashamed or like that I don't know much about it. Like, what I know, and what I want to learn, I learn, and all that stuff. However, I am like extremely obsessed right now with BTS, and so now I'm like, I need to learn Korean.
I mean, when you're 12, 13, 14, you start beginning to search for your identity, you know? When I was 12, my dad died, so the black part of me that I could identify with was gone, you know? And then you get this hate of the part that you're searching to identify with, so you think this part shouldn't be there. I'm not good enough because this part is here. I should change. I should not be this way. And as a child, you want to identify with both parts of you, and I'm just both worlds, you know? I can't just identify with one part or the other. I have to identify with both. I didn't get the chance to identify with the other part, so that's why I also felt like I didn't fit in, I think. And I've never belonged somewhere. Never had the feeling like I belonged somewhere. And I guess I just really wanted it. To belong somewhere, you know?
I think the best advantage. I think it's also like the worst at the same time. Just like not having a fixed identity from the start and having to be conformed to something. The circumstances in which I was created, you could say, are not that common, and they're not extremely rare, but like it doesn't force me to go, oh, okay, I need to be like this. There's not that extreme sense of having to adhere to a certain system or a certain people. So yeah.
I never felt like I'm half something and half half. But then here it made me really aware of it. And I still feel like more Brazilian, you know, because if you grow up there and you live there until you're like 18, for me it's then like I'm Brazilian, and then now I'm kind of discovering what being half Belgian means. It was like this Belgian side, it was never explored really because we didn't get a bilingual creation at home. And I still trying to figure that out. What is Belgian culture? What is this identity? I think it's always going to be a search. And depending on your personality, it makes the search even harder.
I think most of us, we lost our identity because we started to look for things in our flesh, like comparing ourselves and trying to see the differences. Like your deep identity is not defined by such a materialistic thing. If we do search deeper, like spiritually, I think that's where we are going to find our identity. And I think like that true, deep identity can only be found in God.
Like when I was younger, I really wanted to be maybe Japanese. I also really wanted to live in Japan. Yeah, because I maybe also was like idolizing it. Like, I don't know, I like a part of Japan, but there's also a huge part in which I cannot find myself in. But maybe I also have this kind of feeling about Belgium. I think I feel more home here, but not like 100%.
I think understanding your difference makes you loving it, and it makes you richer. Like you symbolize a bridge between people. I have access to two worlds. I have access to many communities. I'm happy that I'm not just Belgian, but like also Congolese. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a bigger world and a bigger perception on things, and so it's really amazing.